to turn my video on while I was cooking dinner and talk you through what I'm cooking. So I'm making some cutlets. So these are a Goan rissole essentially if you're in Australia, or burger patty or whatever. But they call them cutlets, and they're essentially just a spiced version of a rissole, and they're really delicious and it's really easy to cook, not hard at all. So I have got about 700 grams of mince, and the reason I've got 700 grams of mince is because that's how much the mince came in. You could knock this back a bit or increase it up to a kilo if you like, and it really wouldn't make a lot of difference. I don't have actual ratios for this because that's not generally how I cook, so I just throw stuff together and it generally works. So I've got here, so these are my sourdough breadcrumbs from my failed sourdough loaf that I made a couple of weeks back. This is garlic, ginger and my fermented chili paste all blitzed together. So I'm probably going to use a couple of tablespoons of that. That's 1 onion, that's probably a stick and a half of celery, 2 or 3 carrots, so probably about 3/4 of a cup, I would say, of each of these: carrot, celery, onion, breadcrumbs, a little bit of cumin, ground cumin, about a tablespoon, and I've got coconut vinegar because that's traditional to use in Goa. This is actually a Sri Lankan product. Oh no, this is product to the Philippines. I couldn't get a Goan one where I live at the moment, and I haven't been to Sydney to get it, so I'm just using this. But it's fairly close to traditional. If you haven't got coconut vinegar, don't worry about it. Just use apple cider vinegar. You can even use balsamic vinegar if you like. It just gives it that nice acidic tang. This is just a nice traditional flavour, I guess. It's a bit different to those vinegars. So essentially, all I do is throw all this stuff together. So I'm going to put this in first because it's the only thing that I'm going to measure. Let's see, 1, 2. So this was literally equal parts of ginger, garlic, fresh ginger, fresh garlic, and my fermented chili paste, which is just fermented chili blitzed up. You could just use chili paste, you could just use a couple of chilies, and if you don't like things hot, you could skip the chilies altogether. So I throw in that onion and the celery. So it's probably not very traditional to throw all these vegetables in either, but I like to put vegetables in everything because, one, I've got kids, and 2, it's good for you, and I think it just makes them a bit lighter. I find them a bit heavy if you've got just all meat. That noise is my dishwasher, by the way. Yeah, so got all of that sorted, and throw in a little bit of this vinegar. I'm going to give you a bit of a shake up because the good stuff's down the bottom. So let's go 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Let's go 3 tablespoons. You know what I forgot? I forgot salt. Got this really annoying pantry that doesn't close very well. So just a really good pinch of salt, or as much as you want to use. You don't have to use a good pinch if you don't like. That's just what I like. Alright, so then what you have to do is you have to get in here with your hands and mix it all together. I try not to work it too much, so just sort of bring it to a point where it's only just mixed together. I probably really should have used a bigger bowl, but my big glass bowl was actually in the dishwasher, which is why I didn't. Yeah, I try not to mix it too much because I find it goes a bit rubbery then, and I like them to be, a bit soft and springy. It's hard to get a rubbery when you put this many vegetables in, to be honest, but it still does. Oh, crikey. Talk about a mess. Doesn't matter. Harold's having a lovely time down here, picking up all the bits that are falling onto the floor, which is good because I just mopped the floor. I don't really want to have to mop it again. So mixing it all together. Just so you don't have any big chunks of red mince together. I use beef mince. You could use any mince that you liked, really. I don't think it would matter. These flavours go with anything. Nearly there. Nearly. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to pick up all this stuff and pop it in. There you go, Harold. There's a bit for you. Can you smell? Smells really good. Alright, so traditionally these cutlets would be rolled in semolina, so fine semolina flour. So there'd be like a bit of a grainy crust on the outside. I didn't have any semolina today, so I'm not doing that. I'm just going to roll them in some flour because it just gives them a nice crust on the outside, really, more than anything. You don't have to if you're, don't eat wheat. You don't have to roll them in the flour. You could just make them into hamburgers, rissoles, hamburgers, meatballs, whatever you like. So I'm going to do mine into rissoles because I like mine in the shape of rissoles. And actually also, from what I've seen traditionally, they're generally that shape too. They're not round. But in my world we have round rissoles for some reason, probably because it's easier. So I'll just do 4, then I'll get the pan on and get the oil heating up. I'm going to fry in some olive oil because I like olive oil. Put that on. Saute. There you go. Alright. Pop some oil in there. I could probably do 6 in one pan, I think. So I'll do another couple. 5. 6. I try and keep them all the same size, because then you know when you're cooking them, they're all going to cook around the same time. Just pop that out of the road. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's a bit of water in there. I think because I just washed the pan. Alright, so a bit of flour, dust it off before you pop it in. There we go. Oh! Oh! Stop! Oh God, make sure you dry the pan before you put oil in it. Hopefully it's done now. Yeah, I think we're safe. 6. Probably do some more actually. It's much bigger than I thought it was going to be, which is kind of convenient because then I can just put them all at once. I'll do another 3. It's when you really dust the flour off too, because that really it'll really start to burn if you have too much flour in that pan. It won't be pleasant. So I'll put that up fairly high because I want to sear it fairly well on one side, and then turn it over on the other side, and then I'll turn it down. Oh yeah, so the ones I put in first, you see they're nice brown little bottoms. actually, so the one in the middle has a nice brown little bottom. None of the others do yet. Might just move into the outside. Just make some more while we're waiting. Smells good. Just spice just smells so good when it's cooking. Can't fault it. The other thing that smells great when it's cooking is onion and garlic. I don't think you can smell onion and garlic frying in the bottom of the pan. This is just the best smell in the world, I think. This makes a lot of food. So I'm trying to think how much I paid for that mix. I think it was probably about $8, I think, for that packet of beef mince that I bought. And how many rissoles? I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, oh, hang on, let me count again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so we get 16. So it's 16 rissoles. 2 rissoles each, 8 people, heap of veggies, or some bread rolls with some salad. That's dinner for a lot of people. For about, I don't know, I'm thinking about all those ingredients I used to make all of these rissoles. Look, you'd be really pushing it to say $11, I think. So for $11, you've got the meat part of a dish for 8 people. That's pretty good. I mean, even if you've got really hungry, like teenage boys who want to eat double that, that's still really, really cheap to make. I love meats for that reason. It's me left over from being a mum with lots of kids, I think. So it's like, it's just such an efficient way to feed a lot of people. And it's tasty. I like it. It's just about what you put in it, really. So there you go. Just cook them until they're cooked all the way through. It probably takes about 5 minutes. I reckon maybe 7. I'm not turning this down because it's not that ridiculously hot, but I would say this is probably about a medium temperature. I'd start high on one side, and then when you get them brown, then turn it down to medium on the other side to allow it to cook all the way through. You can pre-cook these too. Pre-cook them, and then when you're ready, you can pop them back in the pan, or I like to just throw them in the oven and warm them up that way. But yeah, give it a try. It's really yummy. See ya.